hit the inside of any of these three would be good. She wants to kind of just turn it in, get between the two yellows would be ideal. Don't mind the weight. She's only, you know, she's maybe a yard through. It's more just the line. Nancy should be trying to play the backhand, I think, and just trying to come to Trisha's, but I think she's going to do the opposite. And this is a little dicey because she doesn't have the catcher here. If she's a little heavy on narrow, then she'll be chipping it right to Trisha's and kind of undoing what Sheila did. We'll see what happens. I think she'd have been better served to play the backhand here, but she had pretty good weight, just left it out. Didn't want to go across the head, so that's good. Mary looking to make a correction. She doesn't really need to change much with her weight, just trying to get it underneath those bowls. See if she can put it between the yellows. Yeah, that's a great bowl there. Got one out at the very least. Nancy having a little trouble trying to see where the jack is. Again, I'm not a big fan of playing this hand. I just worry about that catcher. I think she'd be better served unless she just really is bugabooed by the other hand here. I mean, coming to, you know, she's keeping it out on this hand. This almost chipped her own. Maybe she's just liking this forehand, just likes this side for some reason. Mary Liz is in there pretty close, but it's just the one. Even just to hit and sit would be good, but no, she just a little through and just didn't catch anything. Nancy's going to try it again. I mean, now if she's just trying to come to the gray, this is a pretty good effort here. Is it going to make it? Close. Very good effort, good bowl, and if nothing else, it's kind of making Mary think about it, what it is she wants to do. But both of their bowls are in the front, so she could just see what they're talking about. I'm going to switch over here. She could have played on the forehand and just stuck with a chop lie on either one of those bowls on the forehand, meaning hit the ball, have it roll through, and then yours stays for the shot. But instead, she's opting to switch over to the backhand and just try and draw it. See if she can find this little pocket here. Going to hit into Sheila's. Yeah, there. It's almost kind of like a little bit of a mini chop lie on that side. You could see where she hit that bowl, but instead of hitting it and pushing it through, she just kind of nudged it and sat down for a shot. Now it's also like a front toucher, so it's with the jack right behind it. So Nancy's got one more left, but they're going to take a look-see. Danger now is if you put any kind of pressure on it, it's going to push it back because you can't really get rid of that bowl without the jack moving. And pretty good shot there by Mary. She had a good control. If anything, I think she would probably say that she was just touch narrow, but she had bowls that she could work with there by being touch narrow. So Nancy, I mean, here you just don't want to move it. See, if you nudge it, then that jack will go back to all those other grays, which you really don't want. If she goes all the way back, then she's got the blue in the back, in the front left that you see in your screen, in the back left, and that yellow one in the back right. So trying to get it to go, but not, you know, have the jack go, but with the bowl. But I think they're just down one at the moment. Probably with a couple seconds. And Mary's ended up, you know, it's a good shot, and she put her in a good position. Yeah, Nancy's giving it a rip, which is what I thought she might do, trying to get it all the way back. She's going to finish just narrow. Let's see if they're going to lose. And then it gets them another one in the back now. Trish is looking to see if it's how many it might be. You see what they're calling for. And that's what I think the shot is for Trish, is just to try and come on to. See what they're talking about. Can't quite hear. But I think the shot is for Tricia to come into Mary's bowl, be nice and positive, maybe no more than a yard, but hit the bowl, and then the jack will move a little bit and it'll all roll together. And you want to try and get it away from the blue and the yellow bowl in front, which are away, and get it into the gray and the white bowls, which are theirs. So just even if it moves over, just, it's almost like you get a point for every 6 inches it moves. And if it moves 2 feet, then that's the ideal spot, right in the middle of everything, and they'd be sitting 6. Really, I think it's like you're trying to play weight-wise. I would think like a yard through. Just trying to hit that gray bowl serve with the shot bowl. A pretty good effort. You can see the weight's pretty good. That's the kind of weight. I mean, maybe it's, nitpicking, it's like a foot too heavy. But you're just trying to hit that bowl so that the jack would to go right into the middle of the pile, like between those two and an angle. And she is going to try and come through and not hit it a little bit. She needs to hit it a lot. She needs to hit the yellow and blue and push those all the way up into the gray, into the shot bowl. She's through and up to it, but I think she needed a lot more weight, because the thing you don't want to do is to make their shot for them. I mean, this has really got to have a contrail to it for her to hit it. Tricia, on the other hand, again, is just trying to, I think Mary's saying, just look, just a yard through, hit that bowl into the jack, and have that jack go right to the other gray bowls. Right in the little pocket between those 3 gray bowls would be ideal. And you got all those white and that bowl. Yours might follow. You get 6 or so, 6 or plus. And I think she's come up short here. I think she was wanting her to take some weight off, like she said, oh, you're a yard through. And I don't know if they saw the shot or not, if they were just trying to get her to draw. I think you'd been better off hitting it with a yard, and you could have had a 5 or 6. And Sheila shouldn't be messing around. She can't just like tap it, because then she'll make their shot for them. Yeah, this is a much better weight. It's just not going to come back, I don't think. Hit that square. Okay. So neither one of the ladies could execute the ideal shot. That's 2. 2 more for Kwan and Spieth. Their lead, make it 8-2 after 5. And this will be a 14-end game. It's kind of funny how different people see different things of what it is that's available and what it is that they call. And you got to know what your teammates, what your strengths are and what your partners are. It always makes it helpful. Tricia does a steady amount of leading. Mary has been she's all around. She's got every shot in the bag she can do. Nancy's also that way. Sheila, a little more on the back end. She's a little more of a skip person. But I know Tricia's been almost exclusively leading, to her credit. So this is a good test for her to look and see some of these different kind of intermediate advanced shots. And she's got a very, very nice draw game. And it's nice to see her kind of expand. And this is a good tournament to get those kind of shots in. So starting the 5th end, again, they're going with kind of this medium length with the jack, a little shorter than they've been playing. And Mary's got a good weight, but a little narrow. Both the ladies are kind of a little bit on the narrow. Nancy a little heavier. Let's see, both of them will probably make a good adjustment here. Yeah, kind of, I don't know if that's necessary. She really kind of leaned into that one, Mary. Really kind of leaned into it and just kind of overdid it. I would have been really flailing to the back. See if Nancy can cut the weight from hers. Yeah, she just kind of did 2 of the same. Not really what you want. You really wanted to make a little bit more of an adjustment than a foot when you're 3 yards through. So Nancy and Sheila get one on each of the first two ends, and then Tricia and Mary capitalized on a bad jack to get a big 5, and then they've kind of followed through with a 1 and a 2 now to take an 8-2 lead after 5. I think this is a relatively new partnership for Mary and Tricia to be playing together, and similar for Nancy and Sheila. They all know each other, fairly well, but for them to be playing with each other, a fairly new partnership. I think it'd be good for Tricia to play with somebody like Mary, who's got Team USA experience. Yeah, just a little short. A lot of room to draw here for Sheila. Yeah, just really overcooking it. Fortunate to kind of hit that ball to kind of cut it to 2. Tricia doesn't need to adjust much. Just really, maybe even add a yard would be not a terrible thought, given that you're going to take extra grass. It's going to require a little extra. Just wanted to float it all the way around and get behind the jack. That'd be great. It's not far away here. Yeah, pretty good home. An extra yard. Sheila really needs to take some mustard off this hot dog here. Just the inside half of that ball. Ah, just hit a little square. Hit the inside half. That might have been interesting. See if Tricia can drop this weight here. Looks pretty good effort. Even got a little bounce to slow it down. Nice pull there. Just behind. Sheila I think just a little less grass. Just come a little narrower. I think she's overcooked this one. This one looks a little heavy and narrow. She really kind of not what you were looking for there. You can see it almost as soon as she got down for it. Tricia wants to do, I would just tell her the same exact thing. Don't make any kind of adjustment. Just do the same. It's been so fluky kind of trying to find the line. I think she and her partner Mary would take the same thing twice. This is another good bull here. Nice bull. And sometimes just an imperfection, like she didn't hit that little hop. Take a little weight off or something. And Sheila now is trying to, I think she's come with a little oomph, trying to hit a little piece of this head here. That's not a draw shot. She's trying to chop wire, hit the jack. Oh, that was not a, she was not trying to draw there. She was trying to come with some ferocity. All right, so it looks like holding 4, I think, right now. They haven't got anything particularly close. And I think if you're Mary, you kind of like it that way. I don't think there's a lot of danger. You're better off just drawing another. I think that's what she's attempting to do. Yeah. Didn't really want any jack movement, and so she erred on the side of just being short with that. But maybe a little shorter than she wanted, but she didn't give her opponent a winger. She kind of put it right on the center line, which is to her credit. Kind of almost took it away. I don't know if she was intending to block the drive, but that's effectively what she's done. I don't think you can get it through on a full drive now. You'd have to have a little, what we would call a sexy bender, something that's several yards through that's still got a little bit of a turn on it in order to try and drag the jack back to those blues. But I think Nancy's just going to try a draw here. Down 4 in the head. I think she just really wants to try and cut it down if she can. Made a pretty good effort here. Great shot there. Great pressure bowl by Nancy. Probably took the shot. Trisha's having a look. Still thinks it's 2. Well, that's real deceiving on her angle. Looks like I would review that would have been the last one was shot, but no, apparently not. So now holding 2. There's Mary trying to come in. Just a tap on her own there is good. Oh, just kind of floated behind. Good effort. Good position too. Another nice bowl. You can see if she would have just tapped Trisha, that would have been good. I think Nancy's probably just looking to see what kind of adjustment she needs to make. Because her weight was really good. She just needs a little more grass. Some people have different thoughts on it. I mean, to me, it's like if I just, there's a lot of times where I just want to make the adjustment that I need to make, and I don't need to come up and look at the head or get any extra information, and I'd rather just kind of stay in my rhythm. But some people are different. People like to have as detailed a picture in their mind of what it is they need to do, and then just kind of reset and start from scratch. I just find it easier to just kind of try and do the same thing if I stay and not do anything different. So Nancy just wants the slightest adjustment. Probably just wants to take a little more grass here. And she added just a little weight. Well, that's all she wrote with the bowls. So let's see what we get on the count here. Got the 2 out, which is what we thought. Yep. So it's officially 2 now. It gets Trisha and Mary to double digits and up 10-2 after 6. Playing 14 ends here in the Heidi Ritner Memorial Australian Pairs here at Long Beach Lawn Bowling Club. It's a beautiful day here, just the slightest breeze, just enough for it to make it cool here in the shade. Too cold, driving us to all put on our sweats and long pants here. And I like it, again, because things have been going well, it's good that Trisha has been putting the mat in the same spot so they can play the same line. I think this is much shorter than they probably want with the length from what Mary was wanting to do and what they've been doing, but they've been better than their opponents. So this is definitely kind of more of a, with the mat up, a little more of a short middle length here. Pretty good opener here by Trisha. Yeah, I like to see that. Just right in line, pretty close to right in line, maybe 4 feet. See if Sheila can do something similar. Just wanted to just kind of float it on behind. Her first bowl's been pretty good, and this is no different. Really exceptional start here. Toucher. Side toucher, great bowl. Again, Trisha probably just wants to keep the same kind of weight and just trying to get through, get a little action on the head. But short's not really going to help you. You really want to make sure that you're up and into and through. Yeah, that's a great ball. Very solid second. And even on the right side, any kind of action's likely going to push that jack right to them. So that's a really good response. Sheila, I'm guessing, is just going to kind of try and do a similar kind of thing. If you come to the white, that'd be good. She's ended up a little short. That's not bad. I think Sheila would have better served to be, to have something finishing on the other side of the jack, because likely the way that's set up, it's going to push it, based on the camera, it's going to push it past that white, to the white and past it. So you're better off kind of finishing over on that side behind. But she kind of did her job, had a really good first bowl and a solid second bowl to get third shot. But see, they don't also have anything in the back, so Mary can kind of be freewheeling with this if she wants. She can afford to be a yard through. If she hits even her own ball, then she'd probably stay. So I think that's the proper play, is to play it with like a yard over here, again on the forehand as she is. She's opting to play a little heavier than that. And that's going to kind of have it hang out, but then just another one in the back. Let's see, with the yard through, the upside with that is you're not going to like hit your own, because you really like where that ball is for second shot, and you'd rather replace it, if anything, than just kind of clobber it and move it all over the place and have yours not get very, because you could easily go two down if you hit it too hard. Better off just kind of nudging it. I think Nancy's better off just trying to have something in the back, maybe to the back white ball. Something between the two is good. Yeah, she's going all the way to the back here. They're down 3 in the back, so this is nothing wrong with this, going all the way back. Kind of protecting against the real heavy shot. I don't think that's the proper play, but I don't think Mary's going to be trying to go real heavy. That was, in fact, I think too heavy for her first one. I think she'd be better off just cutting a little weight, coming narrow, trying to see if she can pinch that ball out all the way. Yeah, again, I think just a little heavy. I'm not fond of going all the way back here. I think you just want her to kind of, because you don't want to clobber your own. I think Nancy might be trying to come to the back again here. Well, yeah, I don't think that's the shot she wanted to come on, but if she wanted one over there, she'd been better off playing the backhand and coming her own rather than going right through the head. Worked out for her. Again, I like to see Mary drop a little bit of weight, just trying to be a yard through. Maybe 2, not 4 or 5 like she's been doing. This is a better effort here. I like this a lot. I like this a lot. Look at this. And, oh, she just happened to come a little narrow, but now she's got another solid second. Any kind of action in there is going to favor them because they only have the one ball. And if Mary tries it again and she happens to hit that yellow, now it would be worth 2 for them. Sits for 3. And I think Nancy was worried about her coming to the back, and she had no interest in coming to the back and shouldn't have been going to the back. So she was kind of guarding at something that wasn't going to happen, at least not right now. She's now, let's see, like where they're targeting is where I thought they kind of were needing to go from the first place, thinking it's going to go just move just a little. I better off just being just behind that white ball where Sheila's foot is, or anything past that, between that ball and that ball that you see in the front of your screen. I think that's probably a better play, to be thinking that kind of weight, not 5 yards, 6 yards past, protecting the tee, and it's never going to go back there. Yeah, that's okay. If anything, it's going to... Now, Mary could do whatever she wants to. Now, with 2 in there, she can hit it with as much weight as she wants. Still think she's better off just being just a couple yards through and just trying to nudge that yellow ball out. Yeah, even that. See, now they got it to a couple there because of that right in that spot. You know, every once in a while I'm right. Every once in a while it happens. Or it's like that was looking like where the jack was going to go, where I thought a bull needed to be, and it ended up there. And here Nancy, because she has been playing there, she's been playing the back. Now her weight's kind of geared to that back spot. So, all right, we're crossing over. We'll see what what these ladies can do with their next two. Tricia and Mary holding, I think, two. I think it's two. And I think it's just, a little bit of a tactical miscalculation as to what was required there. I think everybody sometimes gets so geared about protecting the back, and they don't protect them about where the jack's going to go. They just assume it's going to go to the back, and that wasn't the case. It was going to go right where it went. It was just going to move a little bit there. And Mary, had a lot of balls that she could work with, and then she got the result that was expected. Tricia, the wind's just kind of picked up, so I think she's given it a little. The wind's kind of picked up by about 5 or 10 miles an hour just while they were walking across. Just really wanting to just draw the jack, nothing spectacular, just a little draw here. And just a touch heavy. Well, Sheila could play it on the... really think the play is to keep playing on that same hand, and she could even use to finish in the pocket. From the angle that you see, you don't see there's maybe 6 inches of room between that gray and white ball, and she could just fit it right between there. If anything, you could play it just like trying to play it as just drawn to the jack, but you can afford to be a little narrow here, because you could just use those bowls and just kind of have it sit. I think Sheila might be coming. Nope, she's playing the right hand. It just looked weird. She's just really heavy here. Or, I don't know if that was wrong bias. Looked like it was just wrong bias. I don't know if she was trying to come cross head to it or not, but it wasn't very close. Tricia, again, just really on the draw. Just wants to take a yard off from her last. She could do the same thing and use the little guide, but this is going to be pretty good, I think. Just behind is good. Very close. Might be another one in the head. Yeah, I think that is. I can see a better effort from Sheila here. Just trying to get a little action on something here. Oh, just didn't turn back onto that ball. That was the one thing that was a little dicey about what Tricia did, is that, let's double check, it should be 3, but yeah, 3 it is. 3 for Tricia and Mary to make it 13-2. By Tricia putting that one right behind, now she gave a little backstop that Sheila could have used to try and come to, and she almost did. I think if she would have had a yard less weight, she might have actually done that. Kind of one of those things like you want to add another one to the count, but you don't want to make it easier for your opponent. And again, it's just Tricia and Mary just getting more bulls in the head, and then being able to massage the head to their favor. That's been kind of the difference in this match. The first end they scored, they had a lot of bulls in the head, but Sheila just made a spectacular last bull to kind of bail them out and get the shot. Again, you can survive an end with one excellent bull, but more often than not, it's the team that says several great bulls will end up winning the day. I.e. bulls that are in the head. All right, kind of going to this medium short length. Yeah. Reasonable opener, just a little heavy, narrow. Open for Nancy. Yeah, a couple yards through. You know, not terrible by either one of these ladies. You know, you're just kind of getting the feel for a little bit different length. The wind's kind of swirling a little bit, and you just want to make your adjustments. Yeah, pretty good adjustment by Mary, but still, you know, a little too much. I'd like to see her have just, you know, a yard more and finish behind, but you made a good line adjustment instead of being a yard short there. See if Nancy can make an adjustment here. Take a couple yards off. It's pretty good here. And slinked in for a shot. Yeah, Trisha got ozzed. She was thinking, oh, here, come on, Mary. You've seen it every game, every few ends. They just kind of get in a roll, and they see the first two, and it's like, oh, okay, now it's your turn. And like they're supposed to cross over because they're just not used to this format. Plenty of room to draw here. Anything within a yard to be shot. And there's nothing really in the way on this. Will be Trisha's backhand. That's a little heavy. All right. Sheila's gonna, I think she's gonna go the forehand here, I believe. Just kind of play it around. Guess she wanted to go backhand and see if she can touch on her own. Yeah, that worked out really nice. I just couldn't tell from her stance which way she was going. Now she got a nice little result, just trying to pop up, get into the head, pop up Nancy's, managed to do that and follow it. Trisha, it looks like a much better effort here, taking the weight off here. It's looked really good. Just kind of ran out of gas. A good second shot, I think. Not necessarily close. So, I mean, anything can happen. Our first game today, there was the teams is up 11-0 at the halfway point and ended up only winning 12-10. And here, similar, 11-point lead after 7 ends, 13-2. So things can turn on dime if people just, you know, who's getting balls in the head. It's amazing how that was determining things in the morning game. And they just kind of shifted at the halfway point. Sheila almost kind of really the same weight, but now with nothing to hit into, so she didn't really have the backstop, and she needed to take a couple yards off to get to the draw weight. Trisha's looking to add a yard or two. That's what Mary was calling for. Get any kind of promotion on her own, pushing through. Just a yard or two more than her last. Yeah, just kind of added a couple feet, but again, a nice solid second. Trying to float it around the whites and just trying to get to the back behind. She's been pretty heavy for her first two. Really like to see her take a little weight off here. If she's still in the back, still a couple of yards through weight-wise. Really, she's thrown 3 bulls the same weight. She just happened to hit and promote in the first one. Trisha's been making a little bit of adjustments. Only down 1. I think Mary's calling for a forehand, kind of a jack or bull shot, and I think she's giving her foot, which is a good thing I like to do for people who are just trying to learn that kind of overweight shot. Look, just draw to my foot and forget about what's going on up front. And if it follows the path, then it should be good. It's going to drive down, hit that across. Here they got paid off. But you can see now they got 3 bulls that are there really close, and now it's not a lot of option for Sheila to really do anything. I mean, they do any kind of motion. They do have that little pocket of 3. You can see the pocket of 3 that you see in the back. That's you have our little pointer, yellow, blue, yellow that's there on the right. So they can try and come through and hit that bull. And now it's almost like, do you want to risk the 1 point you have by trying to get more points and do it before they do it? I think Nancy's trying to say, look, can you come around and just kind of carry the bull? The risk is if you hit the white bull into the yellow, and then now you're down 1. But you see those 3 bulls that are back there, they're all theirs. That's why I think flipping it over, Mary and Tricia have more options because they have more bulls in the head, so they could come around and they could come around. And if she misses, then she could finish where those 3 bulls are and have a nice little protector there. That's what I think is probably the right play for Mary. And again, she's got that option because she's got more bulls in the head at the moment, and she's got a good lead. Really, Sheila's probably wanted to protect it and just trying to float it around, see if she can come around and do a little drag on the jack or finish behind to kind of prevent that shot. Probably the best thing to do. Come on the forehand, keep it nice and high. Even if you don't come across the head with weight, I mean, if you're going to play it a yard or 2 through, then make sure you're nice and high and you don't touch anything. You're only going to play a yard through. You really want to try that drag shot. I don't think I would run off the bat. But where she's setting up is probably a decent spot to finish. Just anything in that little quadrant. And you don't want to be narrow here. Yeah, this is pretty good. She almost got it. You can see how that shot. Like if she would have grabbed the jack as she came around and finished there, that'd have been real good. They'd be holding 5. And frankly, they need it. Now, Mary doesn't really have that concern. I mean, because even if she comes through with weight, she's with the little, the similar kind of weight. She wants to try and hit the white bull into the yellow bull. The yellow bull will go, and then she'll sit there, and it's probably going to be 3 for them now. And if she happens to miss with that weight, then she's fitting into that pocket of the 4 bulls that are in that back right that you see, or the front right, and from what you see, go on the other hand. She's just going straight for the block and not even trying to make the shot. And that was the problem with going that way, I think, is she hit that bull and just added another one for their options. I think she would have been better off trying to get shot out of it. And then if she missed, then she would have ended up there. She recognizes the need for and the danger. All right, here comes Nancy now to try it. Just trying to come around the corner, see if she can pick up that jack. Just a little short. Again, it's still there for Mary if she wants to try and go the forehand and just try and go white into the yellow, pop it out. She could still get 2 out of it that way. They're talking about it.
Do you think I can draw it off? I don't think I can.
I don't think they see what I see. Mary's thinking about drawing it off. They were talking about, well, can I draw it off? And it's like, I don't think it's a draw off. I think you're just playing a yard and just do white to the yellow pop, and then you're good. Instead, she's just going to opt for the safety or trying to hit this little action. Yeah. And just kind of putting in the mix there, so it kind of doesn't make it quite so bad. At least that was the thinking. But I think it's still there for a big number there. If Nancy could get it to turn the corner, then she could get 5 or 6 here. Because if she comes around and she happens to make that turn with the bull, and it's wide enough that she could do it. She didn't miss it by much the last time. And just finish it where it finishes by the yellow bull that you see in the middle. If she drags it to there, then look what you got. You got the yellow bull with a shot now. You got your liver bull that's 2, and then you got 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have 6 if she can make that corner. And now you're holding 1, but with very little danger, especially given the score where you're down 11. You could come that corner, maybe 2 feet over, and you could probably get a 5 or 6 here. I'm not saying it's easy, but given the nature of the game and the way it's kind of getting out of hand, you need to try and do something. Well, she's definitely not short. I think she's just way too heavy for what she needed. But they do get a point and get back on the board their first time in 6 ends. So 1 for Santos and Conti, and they are down 13-3. There's at least 1 bite of the elephant. So down 10 with 6 to go. And like I said, we came down to it in the last game. We were in a similar situation, and again, the team that was down got a 1 in the 8th, and then lost 1 in the 9th, and then ran the table in the last 5 ends to lose by 2, and they had their chances. That came down to kind of the last bowl of it going right. So. All right. I'd like to see Nancy and Sheila do something a little bit different. See if Sheila can get a good jack. She had a little trouble last time she rolled 1, and it's been a while. Yeah, Nancy likes to do this, which I don't mind. She's like doing something a little bit different with the mat, and that's good given the nature of the match. So just pulling the mat out, trying to go for a little more of a shorter side. Let's see if Sheila can get the jack in, though. I don't know if this is going to get here. Given as far up as the mat is, this is probably very short. Yep. Well, Sheila needs to work on her jack rolls. We're waiting for Tricia to roll a jack. If you think about it and you're enjoying the broadcast, if you could be sure and try and subscribe to the channel. It would really help us out a lot. We're trying to get some sponsors to help us out with our equipment. And make this a better offering for everybody involved who likes watching bowls. So if you have a minute while we're waiting, just click that little subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a thing. All right, now we're back to Tricia and Mary's length. See what Sheila can do with her first. Looks like she's going to be safely behind. Probably right around T weight. It's not terrible. I'm actually standing up for a little bit. Gary's looking at me like, what are you doing? Why are you leaving? It's like, legs are a little stiff. Tricia looks like a pretty good opener here. Just missed. Again, just 4 feet behind. Nothing wrong with that. See if Sheila can just take the weight off. She had a pretty good row. Just needs a little bit of the weight off. Got a piece of the jack. Still was a couple yards through. Still room for Tricia to draw, but touch her behind now. It's interesting with Tricia taking a little extra time to her credit. I find I do this too, especially after jack movement, because you don't want to just get locked into just like delivering on the same line. You have to take into account that the jack has moved off the center line, and you know that you need to take more grass or less grass depending on how it moved. But you need to make that adjustment. She's made a pretty good bull here. Yeah, you can see how she adjusted her line. Took a little weight off, not too much, but drew the shot out of it. Pretty good. So we're 8 ends down in this match, going 14 ends. This will be this is the second. So we're actually halfway through our broadcast now. So this is the second game of 3 games that we'll be showing today. And so far this game is led by Tricia Kwan and Mary Speece, who have 13. Nancy Santos, Sheila Conti, who have 3. A lot of room to draw here for Mary. Just going to go on this forehand, the narrower hand here. Have it come across the center line. Really waits the big thing here. Just waiting for it to turn past the center line. Really good weight. See, Nancy's going to follow her on that same. Yep, she's going to also go on the forehand. She's got a little bit of a guide. She just wants to finish inside Mary's. Try and see if she can keep that same weight. Yeah, good, pretty good bull by both of the ladies. Just kind of trading the lead here. I think Mary's just doesn't want to mess with the blue. She's going to switch over now to this wide hand. See if she kept the distance. See if she kept the weight. Took a little, either took a little weight off or just the hands are a different speed. It's one of the things when you're switching hands sometimes that it just you have sometimes the grass a little bit different. It's a little bit pace. Usually, hopefully, you figure it out before you've during trials. If one of the hands is slower than the other, it happens where the grass is a little darker or it's a little wider and it just needs a little more oomph to it. Nancy's just going to try and do the same thing, just narrow it up, but I think she's overcooked this one. And she added a couple yards to it, I think. Didn't need to, but Mary needs to just, good adjustment. She went to that new line. Now she just needs to add a little weight to it. Down one in the head. Yeah, got a little fortunate there. I think she was obviously heavy and narrow, but going to get away with it. See Nancy to put her right back if she can. I think she's overcooked this one as well. This looks pretty steamy. Yeah, all the way to the back. All right. He's going to try again, her last one. I think she's got one more left. Is it just going to slip by? Yeah, good bull there. sitting there checking with our producer here. I think the ladies have gone out of order, but I don't know if they know it. Are they just now figuring it out? Are they talking about it? Because, I mean, they've definitely gone out because Nancy's going last, but yet they're the one that scored. So looks like she's just trying to stab at the head here now with having bulls in the back. Oh, and she got a piece of it, but made it worse. And that's what happens sometimes when you're trying to come with weight. And you can't really necessarily predict what the result's going to be. And with having a pocket, and they're just, really very unlucky for Nancy, because she was looking to see if she could take the jack back and put it into that little pocket where they had a bunch of bowls, especially given that they're down 10. They really need to make a score. I think Gary is telling the ladies that they did go out of order. So Gary was telling them what I had noticed is that they had gone out of order. When they crossed over, I think when they crossed over and it was time for Nancy and Mary to go, they went in wrong order, and I think they just stuck with the order. Maybe it should have been Nancy going first, not Mary. I think Mary just kind of got up on the mat and fired. No, Sheila almost gets it. She's really wanting to drag there. I mean, if she can get that jack back, they got big points. So I think really they should be covering that back where Mary's standing is where Tricia should be coming, because they could give up a big number if that jack goes back into that section. And they're already holding, I think, 3 or 4, it looks like. So Tricia really needs to kind of cover that spot. Didn't quite get there. In fact, I think she just put another in the count, probably. So she either needs to draw to kind of cut it down to 1, or come through and pick that jack up and take it to that pocket, and they could get maybe 6 or 7, I think, if she gets that jack back. Given that they're down 10, it wouldn't be awful. She's coming narrow, and I think may have put another one in the count. Now Tricia could come the other way and stay that same hand. But she's going to have Mary come. Mary wants her to come this way, which is the easier hand to draw, and just finish short. Just make sure you're not through and don't make their shot for them. No jack movement. Even if you throw a blank, it's okay. Mary's trying to just get her to focus, get Tricia to focus. Tricia's asking all kinds of questions. It's like, just don't worry about it. Just do what I've asked, please. We're holding several points. Just draw to my foot, which you do very well. It looks like she's done a great bull here. Just don't want any jack move it foot. Beautiful shot there. It's going to be quite the number now. I think it's 5 or 6. Which again is 5 it is. That's really a nail in the coffin there. So it makes it 18-3. That was a wacky end. Ladies go out of order, correct themselves. I think Nancy had, given the score, again, it's one of the things we talk about is when I'm doing lessons, when your basics of head reading is like, what are they what is my opportunity? What is the danger? What are the odds of either coming to fruition, and is this time to play it? So you run through Nancy's calculation where what is my opportunity? Well, she could take the jack back. What's the danger? Well, if I flick it sideways, then we'll go down a big number. But what are the odds? And it's like, well, probably a little bit better that I could take the jack back than flick it sideways. So I could see it'd be better that or miss everything altogether. So she opted for the aggressive. And then is it the time to play it? It's like, well, we're down 10 with 6 ends to go. So, yeah, I think it might be. And it just happened to hit the negative aspect of that calculation. And they end up all set. So now it's 18-3, 5 ends to go as we're playing this out. And kind of going back to this long length, and Mary's up of their first bowl. A little short. I think she's probably not too happy with that. But again, with it being right on the, I think it's pretty close to maybe a yard short of the tee at most. Just a foot. I can see the tee now. Just probably a foot short of the tee. Yeah. Good opener by Nancy. That's what you need. A little narrow, but trying to play in these last, 3 yards of a rink. And Mary kind of giving her some. See if Jess wants to slip by her own. There it is. Now it's going to travel all the way. And pretty good effort. Pretty decent correction there. Kind of got a little bit in Nancy's eye since Nancy was playing that forehand. Just dropping a nice bowl by Nancy. 2 good bowls by Nancy there. Just, gosh, it's just hard to get it to stop. It's still only maybe a couple feet through. A lot of room for Tricia to draw here. Just wants to turn a little bit. Yeah, it's starting to come around. Pretty good opener. Great bowl. Shot drawn. Nice bowl by Tricia. Near perfect weight. All right, Sheila. Really don't need to be short here. Trying to be nice and positive. See if she can pop her own up or get to the jack. Yeah, good weight. Don't need too much different here, Trish. Yeah, I don't even mind this having a little extra to get between the two and kind of play a little defense here. This is actually a really good bowl, really good spot there. See if Sheila can correct her line. Weight was good. Finishing a little narrow is okay. She can come to the white bowl, be all right. That's a little overcorrection. Now Tricia have a great position bowl in that second, just looking to kind of get more like the first one. Well, she managed to be a little heavy and narrow, but took the jack to the dish, so even when it goes wrong, it goes right. And Steve, our cameraman, giving us a little look-see. I think that bottle there is where the jack is, right next to the center line. Almost went straight in. I think it's probably 2. Let's see if Sheila can get one in there. We've seen that plinth help out a few people. She's just coming up short, I think. Just barely entering the screen at the top, several yards short. Tricia manages to avoid the minefield kind of the same way and just maybe took a couple feet off. Gets another one in. All right, Sheila needs to add a few yards, try and cut this down. Oh, got a fortunate little rub there. I don't think she quite cut it down though any further, but at least it prevents it from a free draw. I think it's probably, I would guess 3, because I think there's the bull in the ditch, which is kind of right by Nancy where she's standing. You can't see it. The jack is where that bottle is, so that's 1. There's the second shot, which you'd see right there, and then I think the third shot is the other white bull. Mary, good line, but fairly short. So when it's kind of let's say I think it's safe to say it's a bit of a blowout when you're up 15 with 5 ends to go. It's really just trying to focus and see with 1 game to go. The game is really just 1 bowl at a time. It's jack and then 1 bowl at a time. And just trying to focus on just your game and what it is that you can do. Just see if you can make this next bowl the bowl that you want to play. Forget about, the game's over. Just try and focus on see if I can deliver a good bowl here. And then if I need to make an adjustment, see if I can make an adjustment. Just take it as like a practice, if anything. Just try and relax, let the match go, and just not worry about the score, and just try and focus on your delivery, focus on your bowls. That goes for either side. Technically, that's really what you want to do no matter what, but you don't have that extra oomph maybe of what the score is, trying to give you some adrenaline or extra focus, but just really try and use it as a chance to try and focus on your delivery, focus on your adjustments. Mary came up pretty short, and she made an adjustment here. Again, she's just keeping them in play, which is not terrible. They're holding several. I think they're holding 3 at the moment, I believe. Just kind of trying to make an adjustment and kind of sneak up on it. Nancy really kind of needs to kind of come through and see if she can either pop into Sheila's or squeeze all the way through. And just getting really crowded with all these bulls. Three is the score. So that makes it 21-3 with 4 ends to go. So there's so with 4 ends to go, just kind of looking at the green, and obviously I have no idea what the other scores are in any other game, but all the other games are still at least playing, which I wouldn't expect this game when it's kind of moving a little bit on the slower side. It'll be one of the last ones to finish, but I'm thinking they'll be able to get it all in. They added a rule, which is pretty common, to say that no jack. Once the next to last game finishes, the last game doesn't get to roll any more jacks. It's to keep one game from kind of dragging on, and dragging the whole tournament and everybody else behind. And it also doesn't matter if if all the games are going 3 hours or an hour and 5 minutes. It doesn't matter that way. It's just all, you kind of keep everybody kind of moving. All right, 11th end here. Gonna kind of on the long side. Yeah, it's going very long again, and again, it's one of the dicey things. I mean, I always believe in just trying to put one, starting off long and having a yard through. The one exception is kind of when you're going to a T jack. It makes it a little more dicey, especially when it's grass like this and everything tends to accelerate past the jack. It's very difficult, a lot more difficult than in the center to try and get one to stop. Sheila with a great bull there, great starter. All right, Trisha looking to take a little weight off. Probably prefer that she doesn't lose her bull. She really wants to kind of have a jack or bull shot or get a close second. Yeah, again, kind of overcorrected there. I'd like to see Sheila put 2 together here. That would be great. It would help the cause. She's had some exceptional bulls, but then hasn't always been able to follow it up with another good bull. This looks like she's done it here. This is really good here. Yeah, that's a great end by Sheila. 2 great bulls there.
She loves long jacks. She loves long jacks.
Gary is saying that she loves the long jacks. Well, it shows right there. That was two good ones. They should be playing it the whole time then. She should get Nancy, tell Nancy that. If she likes the long jacks, let's just do long all the time. I mean, I don't think you get much argument with that. I think you take that every time and you get 2 bulls within a foot. All right. So Mary's going to try get on her backhand here. She wants to be nice and positive. She's got 3 things she can hit. Hit either one of those bulls is good or the jack. I think she's going to come narrow. I like the weight. I mean, it's a little short, maybe jack high, but obviously very narrow. This is the other thing that's kind of dragging this game on is the skips are, especially Nancy, is kind of staying in the head before they're crossing over, and so it's as opposed to doing it together, it's kind of this time here. It's kind of being added to the clock, so to speak. All right, Nancy's looking to try and get one in the head up with Sheila's, but she's well short. I think if she was trying to block, I don't think that's done it. There's definitely room to go around that and get to those two bowls. Or to the jack. I mean, even if Mary's coming underneath, she's just underneath that ball, but oh man, she got to touch her. Didn't quite make it to the ditch, but she did touch the jack. But you could see that she was just hugging that underneath that blue bowl. And if she would have come around it, then that's probably the proper line. And Nancy's going to come the other way. See if she can add to it is good. Nah, just a little too heavy. All the way in the ditch. Not what you want. And Mary doesn't really want to do anything different. She just wants to take the extra grass and okay. I think Mary and Tricia are showing that they've had a first time kind of playing together. They're having a little bit of communication issues, even at this late in the game with the big lead. And Mary just kind of trying to just kind of cut it in this way. Got a little unlucky hitting into the bowl to hit the jack clean, but still managed to cut it to one because she had her back bowl there. See if we can get you a better view of the head. There you go. Thank you, Steve. Had a little jack movement there. Had to wake you up. There's Nancy trying again. She's just going to finish a little narrow. Let's see what Mary made the shot, and she just kind of knocked it down and almost put it to her back bowl. So she was able to cut it to one, and much better position too. She can even try a similar kind of jack or bowl shot. Go underneath the white. She's lining up on her forehand under the white. She could play nice and positive if she wants. Try and hit the jack back. Or she can hit the yellow bowl. And she's giving it a look here. Should be coming into frame soon. Here it is. Just cut across. Pretty good effort there. Yeah, good. Glad that Tricia and Mary's working with Tricia, trying to, okay, this is what I wanted to know. They're having a little conversation. Again, I think Mary is a Team USA player. Tricia is aspiring to be a Team USA player, and you could see it. You could see the desire, the delivery, the game. She's got it. She just needs just a little more seasoning, and I think Mary's a good person because she's a good person to kind of learn from for that. All right, here's Nancy. I think she's should be just trying to draw here. Looks a little hefty. Okay, just kind of traded with Sheila's, kind of kept the shot and got herself a nice little position out of it. Little dicey. So Mary's telling her just to, just come to that bowl. Again, barring some kind of natural disaster, this is going to be this is over, but I just don't know if they're, the only question is whether they're going to get to play all 14 ends because they're a little bit delivered, especially for a 21-3 game. All right. Get a good shot of Nancy's head. All right, so Trisha's trying to do this jack or bull shot. It's just not going to turn, so it's just going to go straight into the ditch. Getting a great shot. We lost one of our cameras. We normally switch to one of our cameras to give you a side view here as opposed to the top of Nancy's head. But we lost one of the cameras just as we were about to go live and couldn't manage to get it up and running again. So we're not sure what's going on. But there, Nancy's moved now. Thank you, Nancy. Pretty sure that Trisha here's down one. She's looking to try and come through this gap with some weight to get to the blue bowl, but she's just coming up short. And Sheila is really just wanting to try and draw, but no jack movement. Either that, I mean, she could chip that ball out and get 3, but she's probably better off just trying to just draw. And I think she's going to come up short as well. The lady's just very tentative on that last one. So it's 1 for Nancy and Sheila. So that'll make it 21-4 with 3 ends to go in this 14-end Australian pairs 2-4-2 match. After this match is over, we'll probably have a 15-20 minute break, I would think, and then we'll go to the we'll have our last game of the day. In fact, I'll look and see who that's supposed to be while we're waiting for the jack to be set. So it'll be Rita Greenberg and Flo Wright against Jane Blair and Karen Billen. So that'll be the game that we'll be showing you, the last game of the day. Well, I think both Nancy and Sheila both need to work on their jack rolling. I think they might be over 3 between the two of them. And it really has kind of hurt them and keep them from doing things that they might want to do. Yeah, so we've got, just to give you an idea, we've got 3 ends left in the game right next to it, right next to ours, with I see Julia Gallo and Melanie Visitor. That game's over. So this game is 3 ends behind. All right, so Nancy's first. Not bad, okay, maybe 5 feet. Again, better to be behind than short. Mary's first looks really good. Again, this is the kind of thing that you want to do. You know, the game is, you know, out of whack, and you don't want to necessarily take your foot off it, but you should just take a little extra breath and just relax and just try and do what it is that you need to do, and just try and focus on your draw. If you have a chance to maybe do something extra creative or something, go ahead, because I mean, it's the 10 plus points is the max for the day, so being up 17, I think you've got opportunities. Just kind of be and enjoy. A little short there by Nancy, just a little bit of an overcorrection from 5 yards through to 5 feet through to 5 feet short. Mary just needs a little out of grass, same weight. Yeah, just kind of almost did the same bowl, just a little narrower if anything. There's Sheila's first. Just a little heavy. Might make it all the way to the ditch. Nope, saved by the plinth. Okay, I see there's Trisha's first. Not bad. Again, another one in the count. They're holding 3 now. Let's see. Looking at some of the other games, see 2 more games have just finished. A little short by Sheila. Good. This is a good opportunity. Trisha just come around it. And some people would be concerned about that bowl because it's on that side, but she's better off just take the extra grass. Just focus on making sure that you get enough grass. Get all the way around that bowl. It's not in your way. Yeah, and hit it square. Almost put it in for shot. Maybe. Close. Well, they really wanted to be around that one. They just don't want to be heavy. It was the last thing he wanted to do. It was the right hand to play. It just needed to take a lot of grass and finish all the way around it. And just didn't make it happen. And Sheila's coming narrow. Again, you see everybody narrow, 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 narrow. The game can be just like kind of a lot of little things. All right, see if Trisha can get a nice draw in here. Gonna add to the count. Maybe even tap on that shot ball. Wouldn't be bad. Just floats behind. Reasonable position to get something back there. That's not bad. There's Sheila again. This looks like a better effort here. Not far away. Oh, just came up a little short. Can't quite see again because there it is, just there. I think Trisha and Mary are still holding 1. I think those 2 bulls there are just outside on either, just short and just to the side. And Trisha again, trying to get in there. Oh, and just manages to touch on Sheila's and then stop just behind. Pretty good position. Good bowl in that last one. So I see one other game is now finished. So there's 3 games going on. I'm going to go on a limb and say that 2 of them are probably on their last end. Well, this one's got 3, this one and 2 more. And again, if they're both on their last end, then they're not going to play their last end here. All right, here's Mary's first. Just wants to draw in, just a little short here. Yeah, Nancy's going to try the backhand now and see if she can pump up some of these other bulls that are hers. I don't see a draw in this hand. She's going to have to go through these bulls and try and push them up. I went through everything. Really threaded the needle there and went in the ditch. Mary trying to draw again. Added the weight, but didn't keep the line. All right. Nancy's last one of this end.
4 yards? And I come up. Yes,
And Nancy's going to try and see if she can draw through this hole and take the weight off, I think. Yeah, just very short there. One more for Quan and Spieth. They'll go up 22-4 of a scheduled 14. I think they might be hurting to get 14 in. So I think there's 2 other games that are going on right now, and I'm not sure, but I think they're probably both on their last end. And if that holds, then they're going to be playing. I don't see how this game's going to get both of their ends in, but we'll see. I mean, they're just kind of, even now they're taking way too much time to rake the balls in and get the mat down and do everything. It just, I think even Rita, who's here playing next, is kind of put her balls in the bank, and then they were pitching them thinking they were raking them in. Because they look very similar to Trish's. Yeah, this has been pretty one-sided affair. Trish and Mary have very much outplayed Nancy and Sheila today. A lot of balls in the head. They've been able to control the distance. I don't think Nancy and Sheila have been able to get a single jack. When they have one in, they haven't been able to capitalize on it by playing a distance that they wanted. We're going to go with a little bit of a medium length here.
looks like it's lined up.
Yeah. All right. I think we have the jack centered finally, and we're going to roll our ball here. All right. Decent first ball. A little narrow and a little heavy, but here comes Sheila. It's had some pretty good first bowls in this match. Yeah, it's a good opener. Great line. Maybe at most a yard behind. All right, Trisha trying to make the adjustment. Doesn't need much with the weight, more just the line. Yeah, she actually added some here. It can be hard to keep your focus when the match is kind of very one-sided. All right, here's Sheila, just trying to drop the weight. Just didn't find the line there, but weight's pretty good. And we'll have the first crossover. They've crossed over, and it's Mary. A lot of room to draw. Down a couple. Took a little too much off of this one. All right. One of the other games is finished now, so there's only one other game on the green, and I think they're on their last bowl. Here's Nancy looking to make it 3. This is a great bowl here. That's one of the best bowls of the match right there. That's a great draw right there. Mary's going to try and follow her around. Yep, now both of those games are finished, so this is definitely the last end of this game. Good effort there by Mary. I like that. Could have trying to come across, get to the jack or the bull. Not totally sure, but I think she cut it down to 1. Nancy looking to do the same kind of thing. I think she's left it very short, narrow. Don't know if she's trying to block. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I'd rather just work on your draw here. Well, Mary again. She switched back to the other hand. Trying to come across. She hits her own, but manages to knock it pretty far up. Cuts it to 1 for sure. Nancy looking to get a draw in just more like her first one, and she's not far away from it. Very close to being a second shot. With the fall over, I think it might have done it. Trisha's looking for some reason. It's 22-4. Worried about whether it's 2 or 1. Mary's just going to try and play on the backhand, trying to be positive. Just a little narrow. I think she was trying to get underneath, see if she can hit her own up or hit the second shot out. Maybe even hit the inside of him, split that gap. Nancy looking to get, again, just put another one in, be nice and positive. She can afford to hit her own up. Be playing it up and through. Just kind of hung it out a little bit. Whoops. I think... I think Mary's brain went on vacation and she picked up the mat as they're ready to be done. All right, last 2 bowls for each of these ladies of the match. And Trisha looking to, this is a great ball here. Oh man, I like that a lot. Again, it's kind of a shot that Mary was playing, just trying to play positive through, either hit the inside of that front blue ball, hit the gray ball. Sheila looking to try and draw, see if she can get similar kind of shot onto that front blue ball to try and pop it up, or just slip by it. Just really just thinking draw weight and just trying to be on this side, which is usually not a problem. It hasn't been hooking too much on this hand. Yeah, pretty good weight there, not bad. All right, one last attempt here by Trisha. This is definitely going to be the last end as they're very much finished. Good effort here by Trisha. How's her line? Oh, again, right through the hole. Again, a nice play. That was what you wanted to do, was to try and do that. All right, last bowl of the match. Here's Sheila. See if she can get a third one in here. Not far away. Is it going to make it? Is it going to make it? Well, it just needs to flop in. All right, well, it'll be some more points. So Tricia and Mary are going to finish on 22, and they're definitely going to get the max. It's just a question of exactly how many, and I guess we're measuring for this second one. There's one out for sure. But good bowling by all ladies, but definitely better by Tricia and Mary. They were able to put a lot more bowls in the head, and that ended up being the difference and counteracted Nancy and Sheila having like the one excellent bowl to be able to get a few ones. They got 4 ones in the match, and this is potentially a 5th one. They got a 2 here. So, but the final score will be 22, Kwan and Spieth 22, Santos and Conti 6. So a nice 16-point victory. And we're all finished here. So we're going to take a probably 15, 20-minute break, and then we'll bring you the third and final match of the day. So we'll talk to you all then.